I've really loved Play on Tabletop's King of the Colosseum 40k format. I mean, I love their content generally, who doesn't? But I really fancied having a go at this myself. Now, the problem, of course, is that I don't have the disposable income to actually buy the terrain kit and the battle map that is available for it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's great that all of that stuff is available and you can buy it. But for me, it was just a very much a, well, it's not going to happen, is it? So I thought I'd set myself a challenge. Can I build it? So here we are. That's what this video is about. I'm going to talk you through some of the planning and the process and show you how far I've got with it. Let's go. So a few bits and pieces. Chances are you know this anyway, but just to set the scene and for the benefit of those that don't. So this is from Play on Tabletop. I had to watch a lot of videos to sort of work out the exact sort of layout and try and do some sizing and stuff, because it wasn't that easy. I mean, maybe I missed something, but it wasn't that easy to actually find, specific sort of measurements for bits and pieces. So what I did is sort of a lot of playing and pausing videos and trying to work out, well, based on the size of the objectives, how big it, and based on the fact that the board is 3 feet 36 inches, how big are sort of the ruins and the walls and bits and pieces. Okay, we know it's a 3 foot by 3 foot square. We know there are 5 objectives, 4 curved walls and 8 small ruins. So what I did is I sort of mocked up with a few rough calculations, some rough dimensions based on just what I could sort of eyeball this sort of sketch here. Yeah, it's not great, they're not perfect dimensions. For example, the gap between them, I could see it sort of came just over the edges of the objective. An objective is sort of like 7.5 inches with the middle bit. So it's it's rough is my point. But that was my plan. It was a starting point. In terms of materials, I'm not going to say too much here because it's fairly self-explanatory, really. I needed I decided to go with foam as the sort of ground and the main structure for the walls and everything, because it's fairly cheap and fairly easy to work with, right? But then I thought it needs to be a bit more sturdy than that. So I had a dig around at home, and we'd been taking apart some furniture and bits and pieces, doing some work at home. So I actually had some MDF that I could use for this. So it didn't cost me anything, but you can easily pick it up from places like Wix and B&Q and stuff like that in the UK. It's not too expensive. Probably set you back about 15, 20 quid for what you need here. So yeah, what's on the screen is sort of what I've had really. Some MDF, some sort of 5mm foam board. I got this from Hobbycraft. You can buy it in sort of A1 sheets, quite big, and sort of then cut it down to size. And I bought some EVA sheet foam as well, which is only like 50p or a quid or something per sheet. I just wanted to sort of cover the foam and cut details out of that sort of stuff rather than using cardboard. In terms of basics, basic tools, glue, paint, whatever. A bit of sand maybe for some texture. You can throw that into the paint, that sort of stuff. Anyway, yeah, let's get on to the more interesting bits. Let me just say that I really did enjoy working with the foam board. I think it probably was the best or one of the best options, but it comes with like this sort of papery kind of like covering on it. I guess it's to protect it. I don't know, but you have to peel it off and it just doesn't come off. It's so annoying. If you know how to do it, you got any tips, please let me know, because I was just sitting there for hours trying to peel this stuff off and I gave up in the end. So that was the first thing. And the second thing was, how am I going to curve this? Like I originally thought about like cutting up little rectangles and sort of then sticking it together. So it was almost like creating a curve, but out of little straight pieces, if that makes any sense. But I ended up doing something slightly different, which I think worked really well, actually. So that's the shape I ended up with for my internal walls, for the big sort of main ruins of the Colosseum. And what I did, I'll just show you rather than trying to explain it. Here you go. That's your flat sort of rectangle for the curved Colosseum wall. And those red lines there, I just made a load of horizontal cuts, or vertical, I suppose it is, isn't it? Yeah, it'll be vertical cuts along that board, just like 1 inch apart. And I just sort of used them to slowly sort of bend it, and thankfully it didn't break, but it created a nice curve. What I then did is cover both sides of that in the EVA foam, just to sort of hide any of that sort of cutting and damage and smooth it all out. And then what I did is I took some more of the thin EVA sheet foam and I made a load of these. It must have been, I did 4 or 5 on each side, so that's like maybe 10 per curve, 4 curves. So I made like 36 or 40 or something like that of these, which actually took quite a while. I probably wouldn't do it the same way again if I was going to build this again. But I've cut loads of these out. Okay, tried to get them all the same sort of size, obviously, and then just sort of stuck them on so it looked like this. What I also did, and you can sort of make it out on this picture. I wish I'd taken more pictures as I was doing this, to be honest, or even like had the facilities to actually film. But there you go. What I did with this along the top, because I wasn't really that happy with the sort of finish with just like the exposed sort of edge of the foam core, I cut some more of the EVA sheet foam into just sort of like a curve, an arc, right? So just laying it flat and just sort of cut it out as a slight curve. So it would sit on top as like, yeah, just like a flat sort of bit to finish off the top of it. So it looked a bit better. In terms of painting, the foam that I stuck on top of the MDF, I sort of gave just with some cheap acrylics a sort of a browny reddish sort of base coat. Dry brushed it up a little bit with sort of slightly more orangey red, sort of lighter brown colours, building up to a sort of I mean, if you know Citadel paints, you probably know what Wraithbone looks like. That sort of like yellowy, bony sort of off-white. But obviously, I just mixed a colour up that looked a bit like that with some cheap acrylics. I wouldn't be using Citadel paints at this scale. Can't afford that. So that's what it sort of looked like. You'll see that again. You'll see the overall effect again in a minute. And then on the actual curved ruins, I'm not especially happy with the job. I think the wash wasn't really the effect I was going for, but a sort of slightly cold, sort of bluish grey I mixed up in acrylics, splattered that all over it, did a bit of, like I said, a bit of a dark wash, a little bit of dry brushing and sponging of some light greys, a little bit of moving up to whites on the edges of the details, and then a sort of dusty, muddy sort of sponge over the top of that. Really doesn't look that great in that picture, but you know, I'm happy with the overall effect at the end. So just finish off, I don't want to take too long, by showing you what it looks like at the moment. So there's the original sort of sketch with my rough sort of dimensions on the side. And yeah, that's what it looks like. I've sort of made 4 18-inch by 18-inch MDF boards, stuck the foam board on top, painted it up, got my 4 curved ruined Colosseum sections there. You can see obviously I've got a bit more work to do. It's not the best job in the world, but it's cost me, what's it cost me so far? About 7 or 8 quid for the foam. And you know, I already had paints and glue and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's cost me less than a tenner. I've spent a good few hours obviously on it over the last couple of weeks, doing bits and pieces, building it up, and I've still got stuff to do. And you can see I've got the small ruins to work on, and I'll probably try and paint the objectives and stuff on there. But yeah, let me know what you think. In terms of cost savings, yeah, it's crazy, and it's been fun doing it. Apart from the paper on the foam board, that wasn't so fun. But yeah, anyway, let me know what you think. If you've got any feedback, comments, advice, or questions, I suppose, if you think there's anything I can answer. Yeah, that's what it looks like at the moment. I'll try and update you. Just a couple of sort of notes, just as we finish off here. It would be rude of me not to sort of give credit to, or credit again to Play on Tabletop. Such an amazing channel. I think they've done a lot for 40k. But also Frontline Gaming, who actually make and sell the terrain kit for the Colosseum themselves. I can't really afford it, but I thought it was a bit cheeky to sort of make this and not at least mention that they sell it. So, you know, please do check them out. Also want to give a shout out to my local game store, Partisan Games. If you're sort of in the south of England, it's in Andover. It's a great little store. All sorts of things going on. It's not just Warhammer. They're big into bolt action, and you know, started up doing Magic and stuff recently. They host tournaments. You can book tables. It's a great little store run by a fantastic team. So if you're in the area or you want to sort of look on their website and get stuff delivered, yeah, please do check them out. I think they really appreciate the support. All right, cheers everybody. Yeah, I'll try and make a part 2 of this and show you what it looks like when it's all done. All right, thanks very much. Have a great day. See you soon.